everybody's a little bit hesitant about stating, hey, this is going to be a landslide, and this is going to be a this, and this is going to be a that. And people are worried about saying something like that because in 2020, it was like, oh my God, what is going to happen? What is this and what is that? Let me show you what just came out yesterday. Rob, I'm going to send this to you. If you could please play this. If you could please play this and show what this isn't. What I'm sharing with you right now. This isn't. We're not talking Fox News. We're not talking any of that stuff. We're talking CNN. She is the worst performing candidate against black men ages 18 to 44. The worst. Watch this. Look at this. Play this.
And make me go, whoa. This is one of them, all right? This is the Democratic margin among black men under the age of 45 in presidential elections. You go back to November of 2012, what do you see?
Look at that.
You see Obama by 81. Clinton only won him by 63. Then we're all the way down to Biden last time around by 53. A tremendous drop already. And then you take a look at the average of the most recent polls, and Kamala Harris is up by only 41 points. That is about half the margin that Obama won.
By the way, you know what the let him move a little bit. Let him move a little bit if you can. Let him just
so you can see the,
back in November of 2012. And this, I think, is,
pause right there. Check this out. All of this, unfortunately, this makes Kamala look bad, but 100%, 80% of all of this falls on Obama.
Yep.
Because look what the fall started. It started with Obama. You made promises. You didn't do anything for the black community. And the Democrats could potentially lose millions of black voters for decades to come, similar to what happened with Barry Goldwater. This is the Democrats' Barry Goldwater moment that they're internally afraid of. Keep playing this clip.
I have thoughts on that.
Obama goes in last week when he was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, essentially talking to young black men. He made it seem like it was a Kamala Harris specific problem. This is part of a long-standing trend of young black men moving away from the Democratic Party, and Kamala Harris is just the latest
shaking to the
face that magnitude.
Look at who's looking at
black men.
Get him off.
Get rid of him.
What's most interesting here is the trend line and where some of the biggest drops happened or already happened in this case. How about black men overall?
How about black men overall? It's part of the same picture, We're looking once again, if younger black men, it looks like the worst Democratic performance since 1960, since JFK versus Richard Nixon. It's the same thing among black men overall. Again, part of a similar trend, but here actually the drop-off isn't as dramatic, right? Barack Obama won him by 85. Then you see 71 with Clinton, 69. Biden, basically the same thing, holding steady. But here, again, very, very weak. Only a 54-point margin. Now, again, still winning them by a large margin, but considerably lower than what we're used to. Certainly considerably lower what we had during the Obama years. The bottom line is Kamala Harris with younger black men and then black men overall putting in historically
guy on the left needs to use the bathroom.
Is she getting any relief with black women?
He just did.
So, we're talking about the trend line, right? And black women, look, she's doing better with black women than she is doing among black men.
Still.
But here, there isn't a trend line almost until we get to Kamala Harris. So, again, this is a black margin among black women.
Wow.
Look, Obama won him by 93, very large margin. Clinton won him by 93, a very large margin. Biden did a little bit worse at 85. But then you look here, and you get a 71-point margin. Now, again, these are large margins, but the bottom line is when you're talking about the base of the...
You get the idea. Vinny, do you know how behind closed doors, where Kamala is not around, not when Kamala is around, think about it, Tom. Kamala's not around. Obama is in a meeting with who? Put Schumer, put Pelosi, who else you put in that room? Not Biden, maybe Clinton's at this point.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure
they're in that room.
DePodesta on speakerphone.
Oh, for sure. What do you think they're saying with Kamala? What can we do at this point to save?
Yeah.
Who is their Elon Musk? Who is the Elon Musk that can save him? Zuck is out. He helped you in 2020. He's out. Who's your Elon Musk to save you right now? Barack Obama's message and words is not falling.
They have
not
no
being
surrogates.
received.
That's right. They do not
Who's
have...
their Musk today, Tom?
There's no Superman. There is no bat phone. There's no light in the sky. And Clinton comes out and says, well, let me go rouse up the crowds.
Nothing's
Clinton
working.
was able to do that after he left office. He was able to do that. But Obama didn't want Clintons because Hillary wanted the job.
I know, I love it.
But when you say, and by the way, speaking of Surrogate Clinton here goes to Georgia yesterday and was zero help. As a matter of fact, he was negative.
And by the way,
play the clip. Put Clinton, Riley.
While they're pulling it up, Pat, Clinton is a surrogate. They've called the bat phone, and this is the best they got.
Well, think about it.
While he's pulling this up, I'm just not to shift topics. Back to what you were saying about Obama. I think there's actually three things that are happening right now. Just real quick. Yes, it's on Obama because there's basically a sentiment. It's like, what did Obama actually do to help black people?
Nothing.
They might say, well, Obamacare
didn't work.
I would say that maybe he helped the LGBT community more than he helped black people.
Yes, he did.
The second thing is I think there's a general assessment from most people that are like, the Democratic Party, because all it takes is one election. They talked about the Barry Goldwater election, whatever it was. All it takes is one election for people to be like, what? I'm out. And I think that election is happening in 2024 with the current state of the Democratic Party, the DEI, woke agenda, LGBTQIA. Yeah. But don't discount probably the most important thing, and that is Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump, the mugshot, I love the blacks, whatever. There's definitely a sentiment of people like, yo, I wasn't a Trump guy in 2016, but I'm riding with Trump right now. But here's the moment where he actually needs to kick in, because if Trump wins or loses, and next time the candidate is a J.D. Vance or a DeSantis, I think that numbers goes down. I think with Vivek, black people will more identify with him. But I think this is the chance, this election right here, where the Republicans reverse the trend.
Okay, go ahead and play this clip. This is Bill Clinton trying to help Kamala, and it backfires. Go ahead, Rob.
You had a case in Georgia not very long ago, didn't you? They made an ad about a young woman who'd been killed by an immigrant. Yeah, well, if they'd all been properly vetted, that probably wouldn't have happened.
If they were properly vetted, it wouldn't have happened.
But if they're all properly vetted, and that doesn't happen, and America is not having enough babies to keep our populations up, so we need immigrants that have been vetted to do work, there wouldn't be a problem. And he couldn't keep people all torn up and upset.
Right, Tom, thoughts on this?
Well, he goes, I think he spoke from the heart, and I think he spoke truthfully. Mm-hmm. I actually think that there is no spin. I think that Bill Clinton believes everything he just said. It's aligned, but that message in the bright light of day is not a message that's going to help Kamala Harris's campaign. The surrogates are out, and Obama's ineffective. Clinton is speaking truth. Hillary is nowhere to be seen. And doesn't it seem kind of weird, Pat, like over the last weekend, Saturday Night Live went out. Look at all the places that went out. And Kamala was suddenly going from like 100% of media support. Suddenly she's going to not quite 100% of media support. And there's a lot of people taking the gloves off. But the surrogates didn't help. And Bill Clinton spoke the truth.
And we don't have to see it, Pat, because he's kind of saying the same thing in the video I sent to Rob. He said, we need illegal aliens because Americans' birth rate is declining. So think about the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party, right? They want to enshrine the ability to kill unborn babies, but then they complain that we have a declining birth rate, so they want to import men from other countries to impregnate our women. Does that make sense to anybody? No, it doesn't make any sense. Like, what are you talking about?
I actually see what you're saying right here, where they're so super pro-abortion and women's reproductive rights.
Yes.
But at the same time,
they're complaining that we don't have enough babies.
Clinton,
unbelievable.
It's a shame to see what happened with Bill Clinton, because the 90s were amazing. But he did say the quiet part out loud, where he said, listen, Lake and Riley, they didn't vet her, and he shouldn't have been in the legal immigrant, and he killed her. But there is true that we're having the exact opposite of a baby boom. We're having a baby bust. People aren't having enough kids. So they're actually basically saying, maybe this is part of the agenda. Just let as many people in here, because we need people to take care of all the old people.
Let me tell you, if we're staying on this topic, Rob, play this clip by Milton Friedman from many years ago. Milton Friedman, to me, I got a painting in my house. It's got multiple characters in it. MLK, Milton Friedman, the Shah, John F. Kennedy. Rob, I just text you the clip if you can pull it up.
Senna,
Lincoln,
Tupac.
Ayrton Senna, Tupac, and I think that's it, right? Myself in it. And Milton Friedman said this about illegal immigration that's been going viral lately. I want you to watch this. Watch how he explains it. This is, in my opinion, probably the greatest economist we've had in the last 60 years. Go ahead, Rob.
For example, at the obvious, immediate, practical case of illegal Mexican immigration. Now, that Mexican immigration over the border is a good thing.
Listen.
It's a good thing for the illegal immigrants. It's a good thing for the United States. It's a good thing for the citizens of the country. But it's only good so long as it's illegal.
Wow. Did you get it?
That's an interesting paradox to think about. Make it legal, and it's no good. Why?
Why is that?
Because as long as it's illegal, the people who come in do not qualify for welfare. They don't qualify for Social Security. They don't qualify for all the other myriads of benefits that we pour out from our left pocket into our right pocket.
To us, meaning to us.
And so as long as they don't qualify, they migrate to jobs. They take jobs that most residents of this country are unwilling to take. They provide employers with workers of a kind they cannot get. They're hard workers, they're good workers, and they are clearly better off.
Wow.
How are you processing that, Pat? Because
well, listen, to me, there is the key word he says is what? What's the key word? Mexican illegal immigrants. He didn't say illegal immigrants that are coming that are former whatever, right? He's specific being to Mexicans. Remember the year he's saying this. This is probably going to be in the 80s, 70s. Yeah. So to me, I think he is trying to troll the audience that is for it, but also at the same time trying to make a point that what these guys are trying to do with these illegal immigrants coming here, they're trying to do what? They're trying to fully legalize them and document them, right? To allow them to vote and do other things. There is an element of his argument that is true. The moment that becomes a problem is that. Now, for security purposes and breaking the law, you're breaking the law, period. And if you're breaking the law, if the rest of us break the law, we go to jail, but the illegal immigrants cross the border, they break the law, they're okay? I mean, that's the slippery slope of what Milton Friedman is saying, but there is a very unique argument in there. Go ahead.
I do agree that Milton Friedman is arguably the best economist we've had in the last 50, 100 years. Thomas Sowell, possibly in that mix as well. But very interesting what he said about, and juxtaposing it with, Mexico, they're not sending their best. And the reality was in the 70s and 80s, it was majority of Mexicans. And did you see what Dana White said about Mexicans? Because the best compliment you could ever give a Mexican is that you fight like a Mexican. They're like, hell yeah. Dana White said that. But the fact that he said that they don't qualify for benefits, they just basically work. We don't have to give them welfare. We don't have to basically take care of them. Juxtapose that with what's happened over the last 4 years in this administration. Hotels, credit cards, prepaid cards.
Assaulting cops and walking out of jail.
Just benefits galore. So, and it's not just Mexicans. It's everyone from Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador. You saw that Trump call out Nayib Bukele is like, yeah, I'd have a low crime too if you kept all the MS-13 here. But now we have Azerbaijani, we have Iranians, we have Chinese. We have people come from all over the country just basically running through the southern border with no one stopping them like it's go long touchdown. Nobody's playing cover 2 defense out here. So what's changed is Milton Friedman specifically was talking about Mexicans. Now everybody can come in the country and get whatever you want from the federal government and the cities and states.
Tom, your thoughts?
Milton Friedman's making a very interesting point. If you dive into it, one of the things that I find really nasty is, worker exploitation. And the agriculture industry has had a long history of taking the illegals and paying them very, very meager wages and accepting them and to work the fields. And that is not the best, outcome. And I think these people need to be minimum wage is minimum wage. And if you come here legally and you're looking for a job and
but specific to the illegal, Tom, I'm asking you what you think about what Milton Friedman said.
I think he was trying to he's right. And I agree with you. He was trying to bait the question to the other side. And at the end of it, when he was talking about taking jobs other people won't take, that's what I'm commenting on, is that he's specifically talking about, specifically in California, the agriculture industry.
There's some abuse there. You're right. And we know some people that used to do that, Bakersfield, some other places that are with us, doing very good for themselves right now. You know the stories that I'm talking about. But I just think it's an interesting angle that he's taken. And by the way, Rob, has Kamala been doing any kind of speaking lately? And if she has, how has she been performing? If you have any clips to show us, I think there was Was she on the trail?
She's crushing it.
Go ahead, Rob.
This is her with Roland Martin yesterday.
Okay, cool. Let's see this.
There's this whole, I talked with somebody once who said, if you just look at where the stars are in the sky, don't look at them as just random things. If you just look at them as points, look at the constellation, what does it show you? So you just outlined it, Roland. What does it show you?
What the hell is she talking about?
Did he respond?
Is this are you joking? Or
No, that's a clip that's going around today as she talks about constellations and trying to provide policies for black voters to make their lives better.
What is she even? Oh my God.
Okay, so Rob, I almost stepped away from the podcast watching that. Forget about the viewers that are listening to this. I almost myself went upstairs and just smoked a cigar. But anyways, let's continue. That was
your old buddy, Roland Martin.
Yeah. Roland is I got a couple guys that would love to debate Roland Martin. Roland's just got to agree to come. For those of you guys that are coming to the election night party, couple of the ticket tiers are about to sell out. We've sold almost 1,000 tickets. They're moving left and right. People are picking it up. We're excited about having you guys that night. But here's what I wanted to share with you today, which is the big news. This is the big news. I have all these polos I buy. All these brands. Brioni. You go buy, I'm going to buy this Ferragamo. I'm going to go buy this. And then a week later, I take it to the dry cleaners. Boom, the collar goes like this. I can't stand it. I'm paying $700, $800 for this stuff. So I go to a Yankees game. We're at the box upstairs. I see this Yankees shirt. I am like, this is sick. I'm not even kidding with you. We bought 3 of them. The reason why we bought 3 of them, because one of them, I sat on a candle. It burned. I don't want to get into that story. I have to buy 2 more, but I'm telling you too much story. I came back and I said, I want this. And I went to Chris and I went to Ben. I said, guys, I want this except for Valuetainment, and I want the collars to stay like this. I don't want it to come down. So guess what we have now? These sold out at the Vol Conference. Within seconds, they sold out. They're now here. The future looks bright. Polo, high quality, all custom, by the way. Valuetainment logo on the back of it. It says future looks bright. We have different colors, Rob. If you're on it right now, we have the black, the gray, the blue. You pick and choose different sizes. The material.
It's like air.
It's like air. Just look how it dances. Watch this.
It's dancing.
Watch
dancing
this here.
Queen.
I wear these 3 times a day. The only reason I'm wearing this today is because I'm doing a video ad later on. But if you are somebody that loves Valuetainment, you sport our gear, and you want to go out there and wear it at work, and you want to look professional, go order the latest Future Looks Bright polo that came in. By the way, this will sell out in absolutely no time, and then you're going to be left having to order a size medium while you're an extra large.
Medium.
And it's not going to be a good look, because that's what Adam does. Adam always goes looking for mediums, but it is what it is.
That's actually Brandon, Pat. Come on.
We're going to put the links below. Don't ever talk about Brandon like that again. National security.
Let's go, Brandon. What do you mean?
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.